Greetings. I'm Barbara J. Faison, your mindfulness and meditation ambassador, with my first installment of Conversations about Meditation. And I'm excited because I have a dear friend of mine who is Regenna London. She is the author and creator of the 40 Day Plan. She is a life coach, and her website is Tuning Up Life. And Regina and I met over 20 some odd years ago when she was a store owner at a
Yes.
store called The Source. How about that? A store called The Source. And we have been friends since and will continue our friendship. So I'm honored to have you with me.
As well as I'm honored to be here.
And again, this is my first installment of Conversations about Meditation. What I hope to do with this series is to just talk to people who are meditating. Some are more regular meditators, some just do it occasionally. I wanted to share with people the impact of the practice and to give you live examples of people who do meditate. So, Regina, tell me how you started meditating.
Rocky. I just started off listening to tapes, and of course, yours as one of my first practices, I would say, is listening to
Be still.
the Be Still.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to meditate in 10 minutes a day, because it's like, who can't do something for 10 minutes?
Right.
But when you first start off meditating, sitting down and being quiet for even 1 minute, it can be challenging. And we laugh because we talk about that crazy uncle in your head,
Right,
that's always talking. I think that was a term that one of the masters, Eckhart Tolle, yes.
Yeah.
But we laugh about that because I have a very active mind, and trying to quiet your mind and sit in meditation, like you think it's like, can be challenging, especially for a Gemini mind like myself. So that's how I started. I'll say I've been meditating for, oh gosh, maybe at least 10 years or so. But and it's an evolution. So it may have started off by again, listening to Be Still, and so you're sitting there, and for me, I like the guided meditations, especially starting off, because again, my mind likes to wander, and even listening to something, I still might go off on this whole crazy tangent of what I've got to do or what I didn't do. So staying focused in the moment. Maybe there's more to your questions than you ask. So I've been doing it for about 10 years. My current meditation style, I still like guided meditations, but I have gotten to a place where I am able to, I'm working with training my mind to be quiet, and that's my current practice.
How's that working? Quiet mind is not a happy mind. I don't know,
Well,
but yeah, it can be. It can be. You can get it to calm down a little bit.
I think that you never get finished, and the refinement is a continual thing.
Yes.
So so for me, if I can get my mind to be quiet for even a couple of seconds, I'm good. But the point is noticing that it's not being quiet.
Yes.
That's the key. And so I do a lot of, oh, well, I don't have to solve that problem at 11 o'clock at night when I'm meditating to go to sleep. These are the things that I'm saying that are things. And if it's something that's already passed, and how the mind wants to replay, oh, how you could have done it better, or what you should have done, and all of that, it's like, okay, thank you, mind, but there's nothing that I could do to change that prior situation. So let's not focus on that.
Well, and I like that you said thank you, right? Thank you, mind, because we want to appreciate our thoughts. The same thoughts that we're challenged by, it comes from the same place that I can lift my hand, that I can eat, that I can see. All of that comes from our brain. We don't want to stop our brain, right? We just aren't happy with some of the thoughts that we have, right? And to have that appreciation. And I like that you said, we don't have to solve this at 11 o'clock at night because I'm going to bed.
Right.
May I go to bed now, please?
Yes,
Thank you
please.
so much. Right? Do you do any mantras or chants or any things like that?
I don't do any. I don't do mantras or chants, but you know, I'm a big YouTube person, so I will listen to mantras and chants. Uh, my most recent thing that I'm doing now, again, to calm myself, to calm my mind, is just to, say, I love you, I love you, I love you silently to myself. I love you. But more than just saying it, just actually feeling it as if you're saying I love you to that inner being, that larger part of us that you can't see.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so it's not just like saying it, it's like really feeling it. Like, you know, I
Being
love
present.
you.
Yeah. Being present with
and,
that.
I love you, and I appreciate the vessel that I'm in. I appreciate knowing that I'm so much more than this vessel that I'm in. And just coming from just that, and I love that. So I love you.
Right.
I love you.
All of you.
All of this.
Right.
All of this.
Right.
The seen and the unseen.
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful to be coming from this place. And this wasn't no short journey to get here.
Yeah.
This has been years and years of reading and practicing and learning new things and growing, and oh my gosh, going through the struggles that it takes to come to a place where you can appreciate some of the more challenging parts of life that we've dealt with, that we all dealt with, that we all as humans will experience. The things that make us the same, and that's just how you come out of that journey.
Right.
I do something that, like, when they come to the end of their life, they don't want this perfect body. They want that, that luggage that's been beat up, that's
Right.
experienced life. But you've got some beautiful memories, experiences, where your heart has, lived a full life.
Yes.
So you come out, get a little beat up and bruised, but hey, I take all of that to be sitting on this side of life, where you can appreciate being alive, being physical, and then that you can appreciate knowing that there's no end.
Yes.
And,
yes, exactly.
And that is the beauty.
That is the beauty
of sitting on the other side of the challenges that we go through in life.
Right. And I remind myself, we came here to experience life. And that means all of life in its fullness.
Yes.
Right. And I'm not sure where we had in our minds that everything was going to be cupcakes and unicorns and roses.
Yes.
Right. But there are times when it's not. So how do you manage those times, or what are some of the strategies that you use to manage those times?
Well, my good friend here, one of my strategies that I use is the hand to heart. And you can just put your hand on your heart. Sometimes I don't even think about how my skin feels, but when I put my hand to my heart, feeling my skin, you're taking those deep breaths, the 3 conscious breaths, inhaling and exhaling, and just calm myself down, and it calms me down. I mean, it reconnects me back to the source that's in me, and that is everything. So I just calming myself down that's an immediate step that you could take. And then the constant everyday knowing, and when I say knowing with the capital KNOW, knowing that at the end of the day, things are always working out for me.
Yes.
And when I am most challenged, I go to, I can't wait to see how this is going to work out, because, I can't solve this, and I can't even see a way out. But, things have always worked out, and so the bigger the challenge it is, then just the bigger way that I know that the source is showing me that how it's going to all work out. And so all of that worrying that I could do about it does nothing to influence the situation. It's me putting pain points on myself. And the more I learn about this, again, these aren't easy, quick resolutions that I came to.
Mm-hmm.
This is years of practicing. Some of my pain has been current. And even with current pain points, it starts to get easier. It's like, you were climbing up that hill, and then you got to the top.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you got to get back down that hill.
Yes.
You still got those same obstacles going down the hill as coming up the hill.
Yes.
But it's like, I've been there before. I've seen this. I'm gonna ride the wave. Like, ride the wave. It's gonna be, everything is okay. It's your perspective on it. That's right. That if you want to make it not okay. Yes. But if making it not okay doesn't make it any easier, right?
No, it doesn't.
So
it does not
make
it any easier.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll just say my mom is turning 81 in a couple of days here, and we were just having this conversation about just like, I'm not afraid to die.
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those people that lives to be 100 and can't do anything for themselves, or have somebody just sitting around looking at them. And I love that we could just have a conversation about death. Death of the physical vessel. Right. Because I feel the same way as my mom. Like, I am enjoying this physical experience a lot of the time. Sometimes I'm like, what's this all about? Like, can I just check out? But the reasons when I'm wanting to check out is because I don't want to deal with my situation that I created. That I created.
Yes.
So
that we all create,
right? Yeah. And so then it goes back to taking responsibility, for the things that we, as powerful creators that we are, even when we don't know it, that we create, and then, and which kind of comes right back to meditation. Then I'm going to quiet myself and just sit and breathe. Just inhaling and exhaling. That's all you got to do. Inhaling and exhaling. So if all you want to think about, even if you want to just tell your mind, just inhale and focus on it, rise and fall of your chest, or rise and fall of your belly, just to slow it down, and just to know that, this is all you got to do. Yes. And sometimes that's all you can do. I was thinking about, people that are paraplegics. Yes. Their physical vessel may not work from here down, right? Or quadriplegic, I mean. But you're still inhaling and exhaling. Still breathing. It's like you're really dealing with being still in a physical way.
True. Very true.
Yeah. But your mind, your brain, the source of who you are, all of it is still there. You're not lessened.
Exactly.
By that. Unless you lessen yourself.
That's right.
By that.
That's right. Yeah. That is a great observation. And I know with you having a sister who is in that situation, paraplegic, it just gives you a different appreciation. And even me knowing your sister and being around you and your family, just that awareness has given me a complete different way of looking at things, such as going to the bathroom. I do not go into the handicap stand or stall unless there's just, unless I just can't wait, because I'm always mindful now that is for people who really need that assistance, right? So, so I think what I find with meditation, a lot of it is just that being present, and it is. Meditation is being present. Michael Beckwith says, meditation is paying undistractable attention to the present moment.
Right.
And that's all it is. Now, I want you to share the story, because Regenna and I talk just about every day, if not every day. In fact, sometimes we go, why haven't we talked today? But I want you to share the story about the barbershop, because I think that was a perfect example of being in practice with the practice of meditation. So I'll let you share that story.
So I went to the barbershop, and normally I'm the first person there, because I usually go. I have my routine.
Yeah.
But broke routine, and went on a different day. So I called my barber, and this is funny. So I texted him and said, "Are you there? Can you see me?" And he sent it back saying "cooling." And I'm like, that's young people talk. What does that mean, right? So then I called him because I'm like, I don't know. That means to me, if I said cooling, that means I'm chilling out at home,
right,
for the rest of the day. So I don't know. So let me call. I called and he said, no, that means yeah, you can come.
Okay.
So I get there expecting, of course, as usual, to jump right in the chair, and he's got someone there, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I sit down, and there's 3 television sets on, and and a music is playing, and then there's all this talking going on, and it was like, and I'm utter chaos, So what I did was I just closed my eyes and I started meditating, just focusing on myself, like tuning all of that noise out. And because I was thinking, some people, actually, I thought Barbara wouldn't be able to stand all this noise.
I would have done just what you did.
So I said, let me just try to tune some of this out, because it was like the news was on, and then the music and all the talking, and I just sit there, and I was just able to go into a space, and then, and after a while I heard like, Miss Regina, and it kind of startled me. So that's why I know I was really in a meditative space. And he says, oh, I saw you over there meditating. That's some good stuff. And I'm like, I was so proud of myself.
Yes.
Look, in the middle of chaos, I was able to tune out of all of that and to connect with myself. And that was the much better use of my time, and what a great use of my time, to focus on myself, and, to tune in, and instead of being caught up into all of this stuff that does not bring value to my life, to my person.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And when you called me and we talked about that, my heart just filled, because it is in those times that we really want to remind ourselves of our practice. Meditation is a practice. It is not a goal. You can set goals, but meditation itself is not a goal. It is a practice. It is something we take with us into life.
Yes.
And when we realize that, we can show up and we can breathe consciously wherever we are, regardless. And that's one of the reasons I'm like, okay, we're outside, and we're not going to be in a vacuum. We're silent. Just like you said, you walked in. I know when I've gone to the barbershop, it's like, okay, my God, is there anything else that can be on? And so what has happened is that I feel like we have so connected with all of this outside stuff, right? And we don't even know what silence sounds like. And we certainly don't know what to do with it. And I think it's important that we realize that we can come to those times. Now, I'm going to share a quick story. When I went to visit you in Barbados, we went on a tour, and we were on a hiking tour.
Yes.
And this was in 2008. And I remember, as we're on the tour, something was going on. We were actually underneath the ground as part of this tour. And our tour guide was new and got lost. We were underneath the ground, and all of these people, and we were walking around, because it was supposed to be like a 45-minute tour, and it's almost 3 hours by the time we finished. So we're underneath the ground, and at one point we were standing there waiting. I think we finally realized that the tour guide was lost. Of course, we're underneath the ground, so it's not like cell phones are going to work. And I remember this little girl that was there. She was like, we're all going to die.
Yes,
and I was standing over to the side, and I remember you looking at me saying, because she calls me, BJ, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, because I really was just kind of being still, and I was just praying for guidance for the person because I knew I couldn't guide them out,
Right.
And I just remember that moment, and it's those times like that. It's the barbershop times. It's the times when you're underneath the ground and you don't know. I certainly didn't know where I was, and I knew we were going to be okay. It's those times that we can reach for that meditation practice. Go touch your hand to your heart, take some deep breaths, do what I say, have a go-to phrase in this moment, all is well, because it was well. We were alive.
Right.
We had snacks. We had water. And we were exhausted when we got done, but it was quite an experience. And that was when I first started blogging. And so they're usually those impetus that was the impetus for me to, I think I want to write about this.
And Barbara, about that same experience, what I remember most was at the end. Remember, we had to go up that steep incline,
Yes.
and there was someone at the top. That hand was reaching down
Right.
to help pull us
Yes.
out into the light.
Yes.
You could actually
see, it's like,
see, yourself being pulled up into the light. I just think that just means something.
We can look at it now, look back on it now, and just really think about all of the implications of what was going on at the time. Of course, you're in it, and I was meditating, but I wasn't thinking about it to that degree. But it's just amazing. And so little simple things like stopping. We're out here in the backyard. I have seen that red cardinal fly by a few times right behind you. I haven't seen your bluebird. There's usually a bluebird when I'm talking to you. Did you see the bluebird?
Yes.
I'll be on the phone talking to Regenna on the deck, and the bluebird will, I'm like, your bluebird is here. So I just encourage you to realize that meditation doesn't have to be woo. It can be that, but it can also just be sitting outside, hearing the wind chimes, listening to the airplane that's flying by, and just taking in what you see and how you feel in that experience.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to share as we close out our interview? Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I always say if Barbara's doing something, it's a good thing to do.
Well, thank
you. So I follow many of her practices, and we share a lot together. We're both totally committed to helping people enjoy life more and live life better. And by better, we're saying, that you should be laughing more and smiling more and feeling better inside. And, if you can find you a Barbara
or Regenna
in your life, somebody that you can share these same type of concepts and wisdom and experiences with, I'd say to do that. So thank you for introducing me to meditation. She's meditating way longer than me. It's not going to ever, well, I won't say it won't ever, but, I'm still challenged sometimes when at first second I sit down and to meditate, my mind might go so, but you know what? It's all right. Coming back, I'm getting better, and it's just to paying attention, and being in the moment means paying attention to what's going on in the moment. And as Barbara says, train your mind.
Train your brain, be kind to your mind, and pay attention to how you feel and what you're thinking about.
Yes.
That is my going mantra. It's just, what am I thinking about right now? Right. And oftentimes it's not what's happening right now, it's what's happened in the past or what's happened in the future, which is where stress is generally in the past or in the future. Anxiety is definitely in the future. Yeah. So when we remember those simple practices of hand to heart, take some deep breaths and ask yourself how you want to feel. Take the time to think about what you want your next experience to be. I've just gotten off the phone with probably 5 or 6 different customer service people, from insurance to Home Depot, and everyone I talked with was very accommodating and very, in fact, I'm waiting on someone. She's, well, I'm going to call me, I'm going to call you back. Just people who enjoy what they do, or if they don't, they pretend to enjoy what they do, but they're connected. And so when I take the time to do my 3 conscious breaths or hand to heart and think about, what is the experience I want to have? I want to have an experience that I'm able to get my questions answered by someone who is pleasant, fill in the blank. Right? And I call that planting seeds. And I do that at night. I do that during my day. It is about focus. What am I choosing to focus my mind, my energy on? So I thank you for tuning in to this conversation about meditation. And this is Regenna London, the author and creator of the 40-Day Journal. Did I get that right?
40-Day plan.
40-Day
but
plan.
It is a journal.
It is a journal. It is a journal.
And
the 40-day
it's designed
plan.
to help you focus.
And it's designed to help you focus. And I'm just going to share this quickly. We did 40 days of radical forgiveness at the beginning of the year. And can I say that was life-changing?
It really was.
Yeah, it really was.
It came at the perfect time in my life as I was going through some added responsibilities of being a president of an HOA. I needed those 40 days of radical forgiveness. But even in that, when I say that, all of your experiences, if you allow them, tend to let them help you discover what it is that you need to focus on in your life so that you can breathe easier.
Yes, exactly. So you can breathe
Yes.
easier. And I just want to say thank you again. And we will continue to do this. Regina and I will be doing some things together. So be on the lookout. And I want to just remind you that you are the creator of your life.
100%.
100%.
Hard pill to swallow. But once you swallow that pill,
yeah,
you'll breathe easier.
right. And know that that does not mean that we're not going to have those challenging times, because that is what we came here to experience. And if you don't have challenge, you can't necessarily appreciate when you don't have challenges. So just keep that in mind and remember that it is almost always a good time to stop, breathe, and savor life. If you enjoyed this interview, please subscribe, like, and share, because we are on a mission to help people breathe more, because it starts with me. One breath, one thought, one deed. Namaste, and be well.